Well, as local school districts discuss having state-mandated security officers in every school, one highly debated option has been the School Guardian program.
These guardians would be school employees and volunteer for law enforcement training, learning to carry a gun and potentially stopping an active shooter. ABC 7's Adam Cellini visited a nearby campus where this has already been put into place and is here to show us what the program could look like. Adam?
Scott and Jacqueline, good evening. We spoke to the program's architect, Polk County Sheriff Grady Judd, who trained teachers at a nearby college to become undercover security.
Chris Owen is the executive vice president of a private Florida university. But if an active shooter ever visits his campus, he's also the first line of defense.
It's not what we want to be known for. It's just another part of my job of volunteering to help keep them safe.
This is Southeastern University in Lakeland, Florida, where the Guardian program started over a year before that shooting in Parkland. However, here those guards are known as Sentinels.
Polk County Sheriff Grady Judd created the Sentinel program in December of 2016 because he says the average law enforcement response time is over 5 minutes, too slow to stop an active shooter.
At many of these school shootings, teachers, coaches, administrators charged a rabid murderer with a gun when they had no gun at all to save children. What we're saying is, let's just give those same administrators a fighting chance.
8 Southeastern faculty volunteers spent 6 months undergoing background checks, psychological exams, and stricter firearm training than a state-certified police officer. 7 remain undercover to this day, even to the students.
We're not just randomly handing out guns. We're training people who are willing and capable to become law enforcement officers in a very, very narrow role, but a very vital role.
When Governor Rick Scott aimed to overhaul school security after the fatal shooting at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School, Sheriff Judd took his Sentinel blueprint to Tallahassee.
Basically, the program you see, with a few minor tweaks, is the Sheriff's Office Sentinel program.
The similarities are obvious. 80 hours of firearm training based on the Criminal Justice Standards and Training Commission model, including discretionary shooting in a simulator, legal training in a classroom, and active shooter scenarios. The difference? 12 hours of diversity training for school guardians, and a prohibition on classroom teachers from participating.
I don't know of any employees on campus who already don't have enough to do. I mean, who does that leave? You have cafeteria workers and school counselors who are they going to be walking around armed?
Manatee County School Board member Charlie Kennedy, a former teacher, prefers school resource officers, even though training and a $500 stipend for volunteer guardians is cheaper in the long run.
It is a little bit more expensive, but to me, you know, like a lot of cases, you get what you pay for.
Mike McGowan has never trained Sentinels or Guardians, but the 30-year firearms instructor has taught cops, private security, and recently, teachers. We asked him to show us some CJSTC-approved shooting exercises with one of his students, a 67-year-old female teacher who asked to remain anonymous.
Anyone who wants to learn and can become safe with a gun.
Her 10 years of firearms training have clearly paid off as she hits all of her targets from different positions, distances, even while defending herself. But is it enough to stop a threat? McGowan believes it is.
You're trying to have me choose between two people. I just want to train professional.
Sheriff Judd says that's exactly what you'll get from his training, teacher or deputy.
I have no doubt that these guardians will save lives if called upon.
Still, the hope for Sheriff Judd and Dr. Owen is that they'll never have to find out.
At least 2 counties, including Polk, have approved the Guardian program for their schools. Manatee County is still discussing how to pay for school resource officers past this upcoming school year, and Sarasota County schools are working towards creating their own separate school police.